Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sun and today we have a special request question from a subscriber. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask the Oracle or the more practical therapist in me, you are welcome to pop those questions in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and thank you for subscribing and liking this video so that more people are able to access this information. The topic today is the question, how do we develop our psychic abilities? There are so many pieces here, and so I do want to refine the question a little bit to understand what are the main ingredients to having a clear and effective connection to divine. So let's begin at what is psychic ability. There are so many different forms of it. It is a extrasensory ability, a sixth sense perhaps. There's many ways to describe it and variations of it. It will be different for different people. So everything that I say, you can take with a grain of salt, as it is really only my perspective and my experience and what I witness in others that I am able to speak from. There is a sort of plane experience that we have in layers in our realities. And these layers are kind of stacked on top of each other. They're parallel to each other. And they often mirror each other, but have very different vibration, very different feel, energy in general. And the psychic plane is simply a different plane than the physical one. And within the psychic plane, which we sometimes call the fourth dimension, we are open to whatever is there. And so we have to learn how to navigate that, same as we have to learn how to navigate this plane on the 3D, the physical reality. These 3D, 4D terms, I'm not totally sure where they came from, honestly. They're ancestral beginnings. So excuse me on that and let me know in the comments if you do know, but I experience them as kind of a typical lingo around the topic. So to help you to understand what it is that I'm describing, I'm letting you know what is the most connected with what I'm describing. So in that plane, we have an opening beyond the mind where we're able to either see, feel, sense, know something that is maybe not physically here in this reality. And we can also see different versions there. So how do we tap into that is the question. And I'm expanding that question a little bit to ask, what are the things that we need in order to be able to have a helpful connection with it? So there's two main pieces. One is around the vessel and how to care for and work with the vessel in order to be able to access this. And the second is about what to do once you're in that space. Meditation is one of the most common forms. There's many different versions of meditation, and it would be ideal for you to find the kind that is most suited to you based on your natural inclination and curiosity. Mindfulness is my favorite to begin with for people because it allows us to come into the physical body. I also really enjoy teaching movement medicine, again, to be able to bring everything into the physical. And when you can clear through the physical reality, that really is supportive. But in the psychic world, we're able to manipulate the physical reality because we can make changes and decisions in the psychic realm that have a mirror effect in the physical realm. Now, same as in the physical realm, in the 4D, there is, I don't even call it that, in the psychic realm, there is shadow aspects and contrast. So we have a similar fight or flight or freeze or numb or blindness that can happen when we encounter really challenging situations. And we can numb that in the physical realm, and we can numb it in the psychic realm as well. So one of the most common ways that people numb themselves out unconsciously to their psychic realm is through substances. So you might you might think it's just a physical thing to take a sleeping pill, but once you understand that the sleeping pill actually dissociates you from your body, your consciousness, then you can see that when you're in that state, you're not able to access your vision, you're not able to dream, you're not able to see beyond. And the dream realm, by the way, is part of the psychic realm. So what you're experiencing in the dream realm is a reflection and a part of that mirror of what's happening in the physical waking reality. So that's one of the ways that we can numb that out. Alcohol is another really common way that we numb out, as well as sugar. All of these types of things, they also busyness, they tend to disconnect us from these extrasensory gifts. So our first steps, the keys, the foundations to how to connect with this is to have a clear channel. This means cleansing and purifying the body so that you are not being driven by animal impulse. Some people call this the reptilian brain. It is the impulsive part of our brain, which looks for immediate survival need first, and then sexual instinct and food and pleasure. So this is what keeps us alive, but it doesn't have a beyond. And so when we go beyond into the front parts of our brain, we begin to open to deeper realities where we can connect on deeper layers. We can see multidimensionally, right? So this is what we're working on, is as far as the neuroscience behind it, which I'm not a specialist in, but I do know the basics to support what I do teach about. So when we are practicing this connection, what we're doing is we're first clearing, right? We're clearing. And the clearing happens in the physical body and in the mental body and in the emotional body. We need to give space for all of these things. And so often people, when they go through what they call an awakening, there can be this event that kind of catalyzes it. We have this purging effect. And that is where we are clearing, purifying. And once we get through that state, then we are able to have more of a clear channel, and we are able to see more clearly and be very discerning about what energies we allow into our space, because we understand how sensitive we are, and because we hold our space clear, right? It's a continual process. It's a cycling. And with our bleeds as well, we are doing this purifying. One of the other things that we are purifying in the physical body is the sexuality pieces. We do have a lot of sexual trauma, and we do have a lot of people around us as well, so we witness it. And all of that gets stored in the physical body. And so clearing through the physical body is really important as well. I do have teachings about how to clear this from ancient practices, including from the Taoists and Tibetan Buddhism. And these tantric practices are about purifying the sacred space of the sacral center, so that we're able to utilize the creativity energy, to life force energy, to move that through our bodies, to move it through our hearts, and then to express ourselves and connect with divine from that pure impulse. And this is where we take the highest parts of our brains and we cycle that through our bodies like we cycle breath through our bodies. We cycle light through our bodies. So these practices open us. They purify the blocks. Things that have been ceilings before begin to open because we are constantly purifying. This is a lot of the fire energy, which is the sacral energy, yes? Okay. So once we open, and there's many different ways, that's just one of them that just came through. This one's, specific to the divine feminine mystery, of course. So once we have this connection, we're able to, maybe your dreams is your version of this, right? Working with lucid dreaming, very, very powerful. Once you have this openness and you're able to see beyond, then becomes this refinement of how do I keep myself safe in that experience. And there is a lot of fear about this that is widely spread. There's a war in the astral realm. Yes, there is, and here too, right? And here inside, most people are at war with themselves. And so if you are in the astral realm and it's a war, it's because you're at war inside. All of it is a reflection. Yes. So again, when we purify through the body, we're purifying in the astral. When we purify in the astral, we have a reflection of purification in the physical. So when we're exploring in the astral, especially in the dream realm or with other substances, plant medicines that are supporting us, or guided breathwork journeys, or maybe you are just a person who is able to access that and you're connecting fully sober through deep meditations, that's really powerful as well. When we're connecting with it, what we are doing is we're training our focus. When we focus with laser beam light focus, then any of the shadow aspects are not able to penetrate. They are simply dissolved around us. And from this place, we are able to fully open our bodies to access the truth that comes from beyond. And the divinity that comes through us is then able to be birthed into the physical reality through our physical bodies, through our tangible physical practices where we're moving our bodies, we're writing, we're speaking, we're communicating, we're connecting. These things are pulling whatever is happening here in the astral into the physical, and when we're able to do that consciously is when we're able to have a creator experience, creatress experience on this physical plane as well, where we can ask and receive whatever we desire, we ask and receive, and we are filled with gratitude. When it comes to connecting with another person, in this realm, of course, we're practicing our focus. We can access so many different things. There's many different entities that live there. Angelic frequencies, demonic frequencies. The demonic frequencies are the shadow aspects, and if you want to do in the shadow work, beautiful. I have a lot of experience there as well. I'm happy to guide you, but I don't stay there. I come back and we stay and focus in the light as much as possible. And really the work of the shadow aspect is to bring that light to the shadow. So when we are in that space, we want to really focus. And what we are focusing at this time is into this interconnectedness of us with another person. And so we see the other person as a mirror reflection of us. We can see ourselves in them. We can empathize on such a deep layer as if we were experiencing it, and sometimes more than they are experiencing it. Of course, this depends on you. It's very different for different people. I happen to be a projector with a lot of open centers, and I happen to feel things very, very strongly for other people. So when we are doing this, we're in somebody else's sphere. We are in their space. This can happen in the physical. About 2 meters around us generally is our field. And if we are closer than that with somebody, we will be intertwining fields, which you can sense once you have developed your sensitivity to be able to access that perception. And then in the astral, say right now, where I'm connecting to your energy through the internet, and I can feel your energy here, especially if you like, if you subscribe, if you comment, if you talk to me, then you become closer to my field and I'm able to access more specific information for you. So I do encourage you to do those things, of course. And in that astral realm, I'm able to access you there. So often I'll get visions of people and then they'll arrive afterwards, right? Or I'll see things through a series of events, and then it will show up in a different way in the physical. So it's really fun, and it's a practice of refinement. It's a continual practice. We do have these type of activations that also tend to happen. You know, people talk about the Kundalini activation, and I mean, that's a huge topic because of the situations that are surrounding the Kundalini communities right now. There's so much, I offer so much respect to the communities, but yeah, it's really a challenging thing to process, the kind of shadow aspects that can express themselves through those communities, through our communities, and through us. Anyways, when we are activating these pieces, they tend to have these really strong effects that kind of have a purging or an orgasmic purge, right? Where we're fully releasing something, an old version, a resistance that we might have previously had, and we're opening ourselves to a different reality. So in that experience, it can happen through different ways. It can happen spontaneously as well. It can happen repetitively, like it does for me throughout my whole lifetime, just over and over and over. And it's a cyclical effect, yes. But we can also facilitate that so that it can be stronger and more effective. You know, somebody can have one experience and integrate it so well. It could be a very gentle experience, but they integrate it so well that it has a completely life-changing effect. Another person could have hundreds of intense, mind-blowing experiences and still not integrate them and not have any change or effect in the direction that they want. So what we're saying here is really that it is personal to you how you are going to develop this. The main key is for you to tune in, to practice, to tune in, to feel. Because once you are feeling, then you'll be able to notice what is blocking you from feeling more. And you can give yourself permission to go into that and to hold yourself and to allow it to clear. If you want support, especially the clearing can be very challenging, or activation time when everything feels like it's on fire and you don't know what's happening and nothing is ever going to be the same again, and you want support, I am here for you. I would love to connect. You can find more of me in the link in the description box here. As well, you can post your questions in the comment section of this video, and I will consider that question to make a video like this, a response personal to your question. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was everything that you were looking for. And just before we close, we're going to channel a little bit of the goddess light language to really embody and ground this information into the physical body. So that was more heady, and this is going to be more to the heart, allowing yourself just to open your heart at this time to receive this information. Thank you so much for being here. The Goddess wants to support us in opening ourselves at this time to the possibilities that we are able to channel the Divine Feminine through our physical realities and bring love and light and peace into this physical planet at this time. Thank you so much. We accept, we allow, we open ourselves to receive all this truth. We offer our hearts at this time devoting ourselves to the Goddess. We offer our hearts at this time devoting ourselves to the Goddess. We offer our hearts at this time devoting ourselves to the Goddess and to the mission of love in this planet.